The following program is rated MA and may contain themes that may not be appropriate for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hip-hop, trendsetters, the school of hard knocks and that attitude era. Yeah, I just wanted to be one of the best. Holding the mic as I'm yelling out D-Generation X. I will remember it. I'll never forget it. We come a pretty long way. There's so much I can say. It's never really gone away. And ladies and gentlemen, as we have settled into our studios here at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program and the Raw Patrol, the superstars of Raw, Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett, are hanging with the crowd. I'm not sure what arena they are in tonight. I am OM Dynamic, joined alongside Chris Best.
They're in Oklahoma tonight.
Ah. And tonight is the fallout from Survivor Series War Games, which took place this past Saturday at Petco Park in San Diego.
And what a war the two matches were.
To a point, I will say that. I could have used a little bit more after the War Games match. Each War Games match had started. They both really didn't get a whole lot of time afterwards, and I was left wanting a little bit more.
But that's the beauty of WWE. They leave you wanting more, and both these War Games did not finish the story between these 10 or 20 people, I should say.
No, they didn't. But I still wanted more out of the matches themselves.
You guys have to excuse me. I'm eating a quick dinner. It's just everything bagel with peanut butter.
Not a problem. As you are seeing, though, we got the return of Liv Morgan to the WWE during the Intercontinental Championship match, where she sucked everybody in and thought that she was turning on Dom. After she leapt into John Cena's arms, she then proceeded to kick him in the John Wiener. As we are looking at now the men's War Games match, as each man comes in for their respective teams. Of course, the chaos that ensued on the outside with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns before the War Games match officially began. And there you're seeing that mysterious hooded figure who hit the stomp to CM Punk, which set up the Braun Breaker spear for the victory. But Roman assisted Punk up, didn't offer any assistance to Cody, and then told him this is the last time ever that we team.
It won't be. I can tell you that right now.
It won't be. But
there's going to be some sort of circumstance there where they're going to have to team again.
Is this a case of Roman now saying he wants his championship back? because he is going. He said last week that that championship would look better on my shoulder, and we were left questioning which champ was he talking to. Is it Cody? Is it Punk?
Well, what did I say on Saturday, right? Do we get Cody Roman 3 at WrestleMania?
You did.
As much as I don't really want it, because I still want Braun and Roman to have a match at WrestleMania. I want Cody against somebody else.
Right. I am going to say this, though, with Braun Breaker having picked up the pin over CM Punk in War Games, does that give Braun Breaker a legitimate claim to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship?
It could, but that challenge, I think, happens at WrestleMania or Royal Rumble.
Okay.
And then we'll say he fails in that challenge, but then the chamber comes.
Okay. See, and I was going to suggest, because the Elimination Chamber is in Chicago, is that where we get Braun Breaker versus CM Punk?
That's hard to say. Punk will most certainly be on that card.
Yes. The big thing I ask, and why I'm asking about Roman and Cody, though, is, does Roman know something we don't? Is Roman now anti-Cody because, and I'm going to go back to some speculation, was it Cody that took out Jacob Fatu earlier this year prior to that #1 contenders match?
I don't know, but right now, Io Sky and Rhea Ripley are making their way to the ring here. Io looking a little worse for wear with that kinesis tape on her shoulder, which, by the way, I need to invest in for my shoulder.
Yes. And they are dressed to compete. So are we getting a women's tag team championship match?
I'm not certain.
Or, and I mean, I suggested this on the Locker Room Breakdown as well because of what happened. You've got Bayley and Lyra as well. Are Nia and Lash there because of what happened in the women's War Games match when Asuka accidentally sprayed Lash with the poison mist?
And again, I'll tune you back to what I said on Saturday, right after the misting. I'm like, there's the reason that Nia and Lash go after the tag belts. Because yes, Asuka, they made it look like an accident. Asuka was like all apologetic, but were Nia and Lash really accepting of that apology?
Right.
Probably not.
Right. As our boy Pete comes in here. Good evening, my friend Pete. How are you tonight? Great to have you here. Thank you for stopping in. We greatly, greatly appreciate you. Hope all is well with you over in the UK, my friend.
Well, Rhea's got the stick here. She's and so does Oscar Io.
Yes.
I've been mixing names all week. I've even called Jinx, my new cat. I called her Pepper today.
So RHEA coming out saying, "We want revenge," calling out the Kabuki Warriors for their attack and betraying Io Sky.
I knew that this was going to happen. I knew we were going to get Charlotte and Alexa coming out. Now, how much you want to bet Lash and Nia make their presence felt?
I think you're absolutely right. But does this come out as a show of respect, as Charlotte is not coming out in her gear?
No, but this is definitely laying the groundwork for the list of contenders for the Kabuki Warriors and the Women's Tag Team Championships.
100% it is. Are we going to get, and I asked if we're going to get a tag title match, do we maybe get a triple threat #1 contenders match later tonight instead?
That's possible. But I and I've said this before, I wouldn't mind if they did #1 contenders matches at pay-per-views and you build those two wrestlers who want that title shot to the point where at the pay-per-view, at the PLE, that match becomes just as important as the heavyweight title, whichever championship they're going for.
You know what? I'm with you there. I think in that case, though, you really would work if you had branded PLEs.
They don't have to be branded.
However, I'm with you, and I think that if you're going to do that, you do those on the PLEs that are not the big, I'm going to say big six now, with the Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Money in the Bank, and Chamber.
Well, now we have a #1 contenders match between Rhea and Io against Alexa and Charlotte. Now I've got to ask, I think Lash and Nia show up in the match. Either that or the Kabuki Warriors show up and take out the four of them because they don't want to fight them.
I have a very funny feeling that all 4 of those women are going to show up. However, I also think that you do have to worry about Bayley and Lyra lurking in the background for that as well.
Well, it's clear that Heyman is going to be hashing out a deal to get Braun Breaker a championship match.
Yes, he is. As we saw Ivy Niles saying she wants the #1 contender spot for Maxine Dupree, as we have Jey Uso making his way to the ring. So we are getting both of our semifinal matches tonight here on Raw. Jey Uso versus LA Knight. Last time is now tournament. We do have another guest in the chat here, Tyler Raymond Silva. Good evening, Tyler. Thank you for coming in. We greatly appreciate you. We are here discussing the goings-on of Monday Night Raw. Says happy Monday. Tonight is December. Yes, it is. We are December 1st. The year is almost over. Please tell us how you found us and if you're enjoying the product tonight. Mr. Best, who do you have coming out of this match, Jey Uso and LA Knight?
I'm going to go with LA Knight because there's a part of me that thinks that Jay's got to be a bit beaten up from War Games.
Right.
And if I'm LA Knight, I'm capitalizing on that.
Right. I'm taking LA Knight as well. For me, LA Knight really needs the victory. He needs the last time is now match. He needs to be that guy to wrestle John Cena in his retirement match. But I did ask, does Jey Uso get that match and end the year the same way he started it? Eliminating John Cena in the Royal Rumble to then going into John Cena's retirement match.
I've been going back and forth on that one, so I'm really not certain on that. Because I think just like how you've been saying about Gunther, and Gunther doesn't need the match, I could say the same thing about Jay, because Jay's already established himself.
100%. You're right. I cannot disagree with that. LA Knight is just as established, but I think LA Knight needs that victory. I think he's been high, I know, on your list for the last couple of years as far as, winning a big match to get that title opportunity that's always just slipping through his fingers.
Okay. I was a little bit confused at the tournament scheduling, but I get it now. It still falls in line with what I said. It's ending this Friday with the finals.
Oh, the finals are on Friday instead of next Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember when I scheduled everything out, like before they even announced the tournament on how it would work?
Yep.
I actually came down to December 5th as the ending, because I figured out you need that kind of week to, have some kind of push for the match.
Yeah. What I need to see though as well is maybe a little more build towards Saturday night's main event, and they haven't really done that.
Well, tonight is the night that you would start that, because again, you only have like a week and a half at this point. Or
Yeah,
2 weeks.
and I think they should have been building to that as well as Survivor Series. And I know that we are looking at more NXT versus main roster. So do we maybe get that tonight? Do we get some NXT superstars issuing challenges for Saturday night's main event?
I gotta ask though, because I haven't seen anything about it, but where was it reported that it's going to be NXT and main roster?
That was you and Parrish told me that that's what John Cena said.
That was Parrish telling me though.
So, and that's apparently come from John Cena, that he wants the NXT superstars to step up.
Because I was thinking about this. I mean, maybe you don't have to have all the matches be NXT versus main roster. The Wyatt Six have already started pushing their feud with the MFTs.
Yep.
Why not have the tag title match on that show too?
Right.
We talked about this thing. We've been talking ad nauseum about this thing with Jessica Carr and Becky Lynch. Why not have that match on the show too?
Yep. Can you believe it? We are December 1st, 12 days until John Cena's last match.
I like how you're saying last match, because I don't think it's going to be John Cena's last appearance in WWE.
Right.
Because I do feel like he's probably going to do things like what The Undertaker does. Show up, throw an FU on somebody, and then go back,
Yeah.
Or you see him chilling in the crowd just before a main event or something along those lines.
Yeah. Now, I've got to ask, we know that LA Knight was not involved in War Games, but we saw that mysterious hooded figure who curb stomped CM Punk, leading everybody to believe it was Seth Rollins. Does he make an appearance in this match to cost Jey Uso?
I believe there are certain theories on that. And I believe one of them, because as I said on Saturday, anybody can throw the curb stomp and make it look like Seth Rollins.
Yep. So what a match to open this show with.
Yeah. And here's the thing right now, at this point, I don't think we're going to see LA Knight was doing what I thought he should do. And he went like right for his finisher. But Jay, like the wily veteran, I mean, both these men are wily veterans, but
they are. Jay had gone for the spear with LA Knight ducking out of the way and then going for the BFT.
Yeah.
Now, both of these men have wrestled against each other as well as teamed with each other. Do either of them have the upper hand as far as knowledge of the other, or is this an even match?
I still think this is a very even match between these two. The thing, though, that I'm looking at, oh no, never mind. I was gonna say, it feels like LA Knight has had a bit of an easy ride, but I was confusing the match that Solo had with Dolph Ziggler.
Ah, yes.
But
no,
he
LA Knight
did have a hard ride with Zack Ryder.
He did. He had a bit of a rough ride. And then getting a rejuvenated Miz last Friday on SmackDown.
But it is official, as per Adam Pearce, the women's tag team that was announced for tonight. It is official. It's taking place.
Okay. I would not be surprised if that is our main event of the evening.
I mean, I'm looking at Jay and I see that he's got some kind of bumps and bruises on him, but he's not acting like it.
No, he is not.
But ladies and gentlemen, after these messages, we'll be right back.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, videos games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever wanted your break in podcasting, content creation, potential collaboration, or to help us out behind the scenes, turnbucklestudios.org is the place to be for all your Turnbuckle affiliation program needs. Click the shop link to go to carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Get all your Turnbuckle affiliation program merchandise. Support your favorite podcasters. Support your favorite shows. Wear what we wear. Go to the host section and meet the team. Chris Best, myself, Bubba Duke, Chris Parrish, and Carl Carafel. Get our social media. Watch our latest weekly episodic shows. And ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly not least, click that join button. Send us your credentials. Tell us how you can help us here at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program and how we can help you. And then we can sit down as a collective and figure out the best fit. For all your Turnbuckle Studios needs, turnbucklestudios.org. Ladies and gentlemen, do it and do it now. As we had a very near fall there from LA Knight as we are coming back.
That was a long fade to black there for them to prepare for a big spot there. But we got LA and Jay trading blows on the top turnbuckle there.
Yes, yes, they are. We are getting a good old-fashioned slobber knocker on the top turnbuckle.
Jay almost got hung up 3 different ways on the ropes there.
Yes, yes, he did. Both men barely making it to the ring. What a step up enziguri from the second rope for Jay.
I was going to say LA Knight did make it into the ring first, but not the way he wanted to.
Right? Wow. An inverted Death Valley driver there from LA Knight to Jey Uso. Almost an inverted version of the AA. And the spear from Jay.
Yeah, LA Knight just kicking out at the last second there.
Yep. 2 7/8.
Or as the Macho Man used to say on commentary, 2 99 100ths.
Yeah. I'm loving that aerial overhead view here as Jey Uso once again going to the top rope.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing about the aerial view, but my production brain was like, fix your focus, please.
And Jay with a kick out there again, a very close one, coming off of that superplex. Jay trying to steal it off of the attempted BFT again from LA Knight.
Connected with the spear again, but it looked more like a pounce than a spear.
It did. Jay hitting the Uso splash.
And LA Knight steals it with
wow.
the
Wow. What a finish. Jey Uso messed up a little bit on the cover, and LA Knight was able to take advantage and steal the win.
So we know that LA Knight will be in action this Friday night, but the question is against whom?
Yes. All right. Jay now looking a little bit lost as he's just sitting in the corner.
Well, Jay, this is where your next path is. Try to make it 2 years in a row.
Yep.
They're really fixated on Jay, though.
They are. Jay really fixated, just sitting in the corner. Oh, there he goes. Jay seemingly lost right now, muttering something under his breath.
Disappointed in the loss. I mean, he's got every right to be disappointed. And flipping out and destroying the prime bottles, throwing the stairs, throwing the prime shelf.
Jay extremely, extremely frustrated with this because ever since losing the World Heavyweight Championship, he hasn't really been able to get on track and get focused. So the Kabuki Warriors trying to get under the skin of Bayley and Lyra. And I said they need to watch out because I think those two are going to have something to say about the main event tonight, especially after Asuka just throwing it out there that number one contenders match is the main event for the evening.
And Adam Pearce said to Lyra and Bayley beforehand that they're going to be under consideration for a possible number one contendership.
Absolutely. And here comes our new Intercontinental Champion, flanked by his brethren in the Judgment Day, showing off the John Cena side plates on the Intercontinental Championship. On Saturday, though, we did see a very, very huge return in this match. And I'm sure that we are going to get that introduction during this promo.
Yeah, and for those who are just listening, Dom Mysterio is coming to the ring. You didn't say Dom's name.
No,
you just said flanked by the Judgment Day. That could have been anybody. But no Liv Morgan.
Not yet. I'm sure Dom is going to introduce her during this promo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question is, because we saw earlier as the Judgment Day were arriving to the building, Liv just acknowledged Roxanne, but didn't really say anything to her, and didn't hug Dom. She hugged Raquel. She hugged JD. She didn't hug Finn. Sorry.
Yeah, and that man right there, Finn, I think is going to be Dom's first contender.
Okay.
I feel like that's going to happen soon.
I hope you're right.
Because what I was thinking about as we're watching Dom just taunt the crowd with both his championships, what if JD and Dom were coming down to, they came out to help Dom and to ensure he got the win, but what if they were doing it to ensure that Finn gets the title shot?
You absolutely could. I said earlier tonight on the Locker Room Breakdown, I need a little bit more from JD too. I can't just have him booked to have the match of the night consistently, always to come up short. As we are getting a look at the signs of the night, ladies and gentlemen.
And once again, we're going to take a brief break and take a look at a word from the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And ladies and gentlemen, once again, turnbucklestudios.org is the place to be for all of your Turnbuckle affiliation program needs. You just saw our weekly calendar. Go to the host section, meet the team. Chris Best, myself, Bubba Duke, Chris Parrish, Carl Carafel. Get all of our socials. Check out our latest weekly episodic shows, including this one, which will be uploaded a little later tonight. But, ladies and gentlemen, Dom Mysterio has the stick. It's time to listen in.
Well, here she comes, little Liv Morgan, on her way to the ring right now.
Here she comes, looking better than ever. And Dom giving credit where credit was due, saying he couldn't have done it without the support of the Judgment Day. So let's give Dom some props there for, instead of saying he did it all on his own, he did have some help. And he had the support of his team.
But I think right now we're finally going to hear what Liv's thoughts on what's been going on with the Judgment Day as far as the cracks in the foundation go.
So Morgan not directly calling out individual members of the Judgment Day for anything going on, but sending the mission statement that the Judgment Day is back and running Raw. Not a lot of acknowledgement to Roxanne, not a lot of acknowledgement to Finn.
Yeah, that promo kind of fell flat for me.
Okay, I get that.
It didn't make any point. I mean,
We are now getting a training video from Maxine Dupree, who is tapping out numerous competitors with her ankle lock. This could have ended about 30 seconds ago.
Oh, okay. I was right on who's been training her. It's Natty.
Okay. Okay. Now I can get behind that.
We're getting the Natty I've said that I wanted from AAA.
Yes.
I knew it was coming. I called that all the way back in July. So I think I was wrong about the Raw location. They're in Phoenix.
Huh.
Because, I mean, you saw the Coyotes logo in the background. But I didn't catch what Pierce was saying to that referee.
He told him, I'm going to conduct a survey of the locker room later, but right now keep your ear to the ground if you hear anything. I've spoken with Seth Rollins. He's in no condition to climb a cage and hit a picture-perfect stomp, so it wasn't Seth. But don't believe anything that Heyman tells you. But now we have the team of AJ Styles and Dragon Lee coming out to defend their tag team championships against the New Day.
And I think this is going to be an exciting matchup to see here.
I do too. And again, are we going to get some interference? Like, I don't need the New Day to win the tag team titles. But are we going to get some new teams or some old teams coming back in to shake up the tag team title picture? And I'm going to look at Finn Balor and JD McDonough, the War Raiders, the LWO, the Creeds. Can we shake up this tag team division and get some new blood in there challenging for the tag team gold?
Well, I don't know about the Creeds, given right now they're down in Mexico doing stuff with AAA.
Okay.
But I do feel like if the New Day do reclaim the tag team titles, it'll be because of Grayson Waller.
Right. I'm even going to put this out there. Can we get Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed?
That's a possibility, but we'll discuss this more after our commercial break.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at carlcarafel.redbubble.com.
And ladies and gentlemen, for all of your Turnbuckle Affiliation Program merch, click the QR code in the corner, or of course head over to carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Support your favorite shows, support your favorite podcasters, wear what we wear, and all of the proceeds come back into our studios to give you a better viewing experience. While you're at carlcarafel.redbubble.com, head on over to turnbucklestudios.org for all your Turnbuckle Affiliation Program needs. Meet the team. Chris Best, myself, Bubba Duke, Chris Parrish, and Carl Carafell. Get our socials. Watch our latest weekly episodes. Of course, hit the shop link to send you to carlcarafell.redbubble.com. And of course, hit the join button to send us your credentials. Tell us how you can help us, how we can help you, and we can figure out the best fit. TurnbuckleStudios.org, ladies and gentlemen, and carlcarafell.redbubble.com, the two hottest sites on the internet. Do it, and do it now.
Yeah, some members of the Arizona Cardinals in the crowd tonight.
Yes, they are. As they are holding that championship legacy belt.
I'm still not a fan of those.
No, me neither. You know, I said it earlier tonight, and I think that the WWE needs to do more with Grayson Waller. I was really hoping that they would go back to the New Day using that Freebird rule, and any two members could compete in this match.
I have a thought here. Because Grayson Waller is a total babyface person outside the ring. We've seen him do a lot of charitable work when it comes to, you know, promoting events in Australia and doing a lot of charity work with the people there. What if the New Day take this loss as they're right now savagely beating on Dragon Lee and AJ Styles? What if they take this loss and blame it on Grayson?
They could do that, but
is Grayson even ringside? Oh, he is.
Yeah. I was going to say, is this where we maybe get that hooded figure again? Especially if our theory on it pans out, to come out and attack Grayson Waller.
I don't think so, because this whole thing with Pierce and Paul Heyman and the masked figure has absolutely nothing to do with the New Day and Grayson Waller.
It doesn't, but you could, if you're going to go to a Braun and Bronson challenging, and then you get that hooded figure, and it is who we theorize that could come out and counter Grayson Waller given their history.
Okay, Dragon's like, all right, I'll do that to Kofi too now.
Yep. As we get Dragon Lee making his way back to the ring apron, at least.
It's interesting to note that while Dragon Lee is over there with the possibility of Grayson and Kofi beating on him, AJ Styles still standing on the apron.
Yes.
If I were AJ, I'd be going over there to help fight them.
Yep. But Grayson Waller provided just enough of a distraction without getting physical to allow Kofi that sneak attack and then the tag to Xavier Woods.
But right now, the New Day is doing one of the smart things in the tag team division, and it's a thing I say every tag team match we see. They are cutting that corner off from Dragon Lee.
Yes, they are. The New Day definitely the more experienced tag team in this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kofi's got that full Nelson locked right in.
Yes, he does. The New Day, correct me if I'm wrong, the New Day have the most tag team championship reigns in history, right?
Not only that, but they also have the longest tag team title reign as well.
I thought the Usos surpassed that.
I gotta double check that.
As we get a run-in from Chris Parrish. Welcome to the show, Parrish. How are we doing tonight, brother?
Not too bad. We have a lot of crap in this folder. How are you guys doing?
We're doing well. I got the majority of my Christmas shopping done today.
Cool. How's Raw?
It is good. As AJ has the hot tag and now really taking it to Xavier Woods.
And just to give you guys clarification, the New Day are the second longest, as the Usos are the longest. They had the Usos actually beat the New Day, who were trying to prevent the Usos from beating their reign.
Right.
Kofi with 4 numbers on the back of his tights, and I'm not sure what those numbers are or what they signify. AJ with the calf crusher applied here to Kofi. But Xavier comes in, makes the save. Dragon Lee now getting the tag in.
I love how with the New Day, how it feels like very frantic for them to try and gain the tag team championship.
Yeah. What a smart move there by Xavier.
So to give you some background on the significance of the 6868, it can go all the way back to numerology, and the angel numbers are thought to be messages from a spiritual realm or angels. The number 6868 can be interpreted as a sign of abundance, new beginnings, or divine support.
Okay.
Hence the New Day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seeing this number can be a positive sign, encouraging you to maintain faith, work on your spiritual growth, and trust that your desires are possible to achieve.
Hence the challenging for the tag team titles right now.
Kofi missing the Trouble in Paradise to eat that back elbow from Dragon Lee.
Not gonna lie, that was cool.
It was. What a finish there. I liked how unique that was to set up into the Styles Clash.
Now, I think that was the first time they've done that in the tag team way, but AJ Styles actually has defeated Ricochet by doing something very similar.
Parrish, not sure what you've heard or what you know about Raw, but our main event tonight is Charlotte and Alexa versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky in a #1 contenders match.
Yes, I am completely up to date of what's going on.
Okay.
I do want to let everybody know that the goal of 210 on Twitch for Turnbuckle Studios was matched, and we now have a new goal of 220. So if you want to help Turnbuckle Studios reach its new goal, tell your friends, tell everybody to watch some Turnbuckle Studios live on Twitch.
And making her impact felt right off the bat was Liv Morgan as she looked at Stephanie Vicaire and eyeing her World Heavyweight Championship.
Now you have to assume that both Finn and JD are gonna once again put their eyes back on the World Tag Team Titles with Raquel and Roxanne going after the Women Tag Title. You know, Liv going after that women's world title.
Well,
Right.
yeah, 'cause that was the crux of the promo that they cut earlier, where Liv was like, "I don't see any gold except for on Dawn," and then they basically like laid out their mission for the next while. But in that promo at the same time, she acknowledged Raquel and JD, but failed to acknowledge Finn and Roxanne.
Yes.
And once again, made sure she got her hands physically on Dom.
Yes.
Yeah. But right now, I think we will take ourselves another commercial break.
I think that's a great idea.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, videos, games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
And ladies and gentlemen, once again, that website for all your Turnbuckle affiliation program needs is turnbucklestudios.org. Go to the host section and meet the team. Chris Best, Chris Parrish, myself, Bubba Duke, and Carl Carafel. Watch our latest weekly episodic shows, including this one, which will be up a little later this evening. Go to the shop link to go to carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Get all your Turnbuckle affiliation program merchandise. Wear what we wear. Support your favorite shows and podcasters. And most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, click the join link. Send us your credentials. Tell us how you can help us, how we can help you. And we can sit down as a collective and figure it out. If you don't have the time to hit the type in turnbucklestudios.org, just hit that QR code in the corner with your camera, and it'll take you directly to the site. For all your Turnbuckle affiliation program needs, ladies and gentlemen, turnbucklestudios.org, the place to be.
Ow.
Now, I do have to say, we saw that Logan Paul accompany Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman out. So this begs the question: Paul Heyman and Logan Paul, I guess, do have more of a one-time relationship, as Logan Paul is a part of the vision here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I firmly believe. I firmly believe he is officially a part of the stable.
I believe so
Yeah.
too. This was a question we were asking when he first betrayed CM Punk. Now we seem to be actually seeing it because we know that Logan Paul did come over to Raw prior to the start of Raw on Netflix back in January.
We just have yet to actually hear anything conclusive, so it just leads to all the speculation. And Paul Heyman was asked about this by Peter Rosenberg at the post conference on Saturday at Survivor Series, and he failed to acknowledge the question. I have to wonder if by Drew McIntyre helping Paul Heyman. Does Paul Heyman help Drew McIntyre get that suspension unlifted?
It all depends on who Heyman has to talk to, because I do feel like he could go above Nick Aldis's head and talk to somebody about getting it lifted. And as AC/DC once said, money talks.
Well, and Naughty by Nature once said, it's all about the money.
And I think we just got our conclusivity of Paul Heyman saying Logan Paul now fits in with the vision.
So why I brought it up? I mean, we can honestly say how much potential Braun Breaker has, but damn, is he vanilla.
So Paul Heyman announcing that January 5th, the 1-year anniversary of Raw on Netflix, CM Punk will defend against Braun Breaker.
Well, we all know it's not the 1-year anniversary. The anniversary would be January 6th, but it does complete the very first year. I'm going to be technical on that because I do not like what WWE was trying to pull right there. Tell us the wrong date was the birthday. Just looking at Logan Paul's expression.
And that might have been my most favorite Braun Breaker promo ever.
I really noticed his uncle in that promo.
I've always seen more Scott Steiner than Rick Steiner when I see Braun Breaker. It's crazy how much Scott Steiner I see out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I see that too, but when I hear him talking, I hear Rick's voice.
See, I'm the other way. It's quite ironic that this is in front of a Tamatonga part of a truck.
And another ad that's going to irk Mr. Best because we have Chelsea Green, a heel, promoting Cyber Monday deals for WWEshop.com.
Well, he is one that says money talks.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put heels promoting the product. I'd put baby faces doing it.
Hey, if you don't love Chelsea Green, that's a you problem.
Never said I don't love Chelsea Green, though.
Then she's not a heel in our eyes. If we love her.
But I'm taking a non-biased approach on this one.
F the
So she's a heel.
As we get the Ring General Gunther making his way to the ring for his semi-final match in the Last Time Is Now tournament against Solo Sikoa. No, we saw LA Knight advance earlier to the finals to face the winner of this match on Friday night on SmackDown. Who do we have coming out of this match, gentlemen?
Gunther.
Yeah, I kind of rather see Solo. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I want to see LA Knight be the guy to go up against John Cena. It does more for LA Knight than it does for anybody else.
Yeah. I'm with you 100%, Parrish.
I will combat the whole make Gunther the new legend killer. It's been done. Nobody cares about it. Goldberg wasn't a legend. He's a never was anymore. He's a Falcons fan, so he doesn't count in my book. All right.
No, I'm with you, Parrish. I don't need Gunther in that match. And Solo has had his opportunities with John Cena. They went nowhere. He's had his opportunities with Cody. They went nowhere. LA Knight is the guy that truly needs this because he's the guy that has been grasping only to have those opportunities slip through his fingers.
And I know, like, you can make the argument and be like, well, LA Knight can beat Gunther. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want Gunther coming back just to take an L.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that does him any favors. So, it's clear as day that Gunther's going to win this tournament, and he's going to be the guy that faces John Cena. But the question was, who do I want to see? I want to see LA Knight win. Therefore, I do not want to see Gunther. Has nothing against Gunther. Gunther, in my eyes, and John Cena on a one-off match. No story, no build, no thanks.
Yeah. There's no money to be made off of Gunther Cena.
It's not.
There's a ton of money to be made off that match.
It's just then it's just John Cena's last match is going to be a bigger story than who it's against. And the problem is you could have made money with that match. You just limit it when you don't give it a story.
So do you think that we should have had this tournament a little while ago to determine that contender instead so that you could build that story?
Well, the story itself is the tournament.
Well, the story should be getting to face John Cena in his last match. The struggle is getting through the tournament, but the way I look at it, the only one who's had really a struggle in this tournament was LA Knight. He's the only one who had to face two mystery opponents.
Yep.
Solo Sikoa got basically a gimme win when Penta got hurt last week.
Yep.
Gunther was the only one who faced an NXT talent, and even by the standards we know, NXT is perceived on a lower pedestal than Raw and SmackDown, hence why they keep calling it a developmental territory. So, really, out of the people left, who's had the struggle?
Yeah.
Like, what I think a lot of people loved about the King of the Ring tournament when it was done in one night is you got to see stories develop throughout the tournament for everyone involved. That is something that I feel is missed nowadays in tournaments. And I don't understand why, if we're going to do this over multiple weeks, why we couldn't have some stories regarding the people in the tournament. So when they do advance, it's a bigger deal.
But the story that we are seeing in the tournament, and you mentioned it with the heels getting the easy way to each round, we've seen that time and time again. The 95 King of the Ring is the perfect example of that. We had Savio Vega struggle through 4 matches that night, only to get beaten by King Mabel, who only wrestled 2 matches that night because he advanced through because of a bye after, I can't remember who he beat in the first round, but. And then again at WrestleMania 4, again, the Macho Man struggling through everybody. But then when he got to Ted DiBiase got to the finals because of a bye as well.
Yeah. Now, we know that Imperium is no more. We know that Solo has Talatonga at ringside with him. Does this become a potential proponent to push the MFTs if the rest of them were to come out and lay out Gunther to make them look like that dominant?
But how did SmackDown end?
With the Wyatt
Solo,
6.
with the Wyatt 6 beating up Solo.
Yeah. So if anybody from MFTs were to get through, who's to say the Wyatt 6 aren't there to prevent that?
Right.
Or to the ring general.
Yeah, and that's the problem Solo is going to have in this match is he's got to have his head on a swivel because who knows where and when the Wyatt 6 could show up.
Why doesn't Talatonga have an MFT shirt on? Little things bug me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually one of the most intriguing matchups of the tournament because it wasn't too long ago where Solo Sikoa was looked in a very similar light as Gunther, as someone who was almost untouchable. And obviously this kind of ended when the bloodline ended, but Solo Sikoa always seems to find his way to be in some of the most powerful scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too, it feels like right now that they're trying to push Solo back to that point where it feels like he's the untouchable one in the MFTs.
And I believe Gunther is doing something in a calendar year that not a lot of people can say. In singles matches, faces all three of the brothers in Jimmy, Jay, and Solo.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But as the WWE has rolled into a commercial break, I think it's time for us to roll into another commercial break.
Let's meet.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at carlcarafel.redbubble.com.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, turnbucklestudios.org, the place to be for all your Turnbuckle affiliation program needs. Hit the host section to meet the team. Chris Parrish, Chris Best, myself, Bubba Duke, and Carl Carafel. Get all of our socials. Watch our latest weekly episodic shows. Hit the join button. Send us your credentials. Tell us how you can help us, how we can help you, and we can sit down as a collective and find the best fit. And hit the shop button to go to carlcarafel.redbubble.com. Support your favorite podcasters, support your favorite shows, buy the merch. All the proceeds come back into our studios to deliver you a better viewing experience. If you don't have the time to do the typing on your Chrome on your phone, just open up the camera and scan that QR code. Turnbucklestudios.org, ladies and gentlemen, the hottest site on the internet. Do it and do it now.
So with Braun Breaker versus CM Punk scheduled for January, definitely looks like WWE is looking to ramp up in January.
Yes.
We all know that coming out of Survivor Series, there were alleged planned matches for WrestleMania 42. One was CM Punk versus Braun Breaker and Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Now, I don't think either one of these matches are going to happen at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But could we see developments on a potential Braun Breaker Roman Reigns match at WrestleMania if Roman Reigns is to win the Royal Rumble and Braun Breaker is to win the World Heavyweight Championship?
You absolutely could go that route. I know that is where, well, I'll let Mr. Best fill you in on that, but really, I don't know that I want to see Braun and Roman just yet, unless you are then saying that Roman is now on his way down, because I think you have to have Braun win that match, show his dominance.
Yeah, see, I originally had a scenario. This was before they announced the match taking place on January 5th. I had a scenario in which Braun Breaker challenged for the title at the Royal Rumble. and lost the title then, only for him to enter the Elimination Chamber to possibly take on whomever the champion would be at WrestleMania.
Right.
But I've moved that scenario now to the January 5th show if Punk is successful, and then maybe Braun wins the Royal Rumble.
Let's
that
say,
spot.
and I'm going to go to this one. What if Braun Breaker wins the title on January 5th? You go to that co-winners of the Royal Rumble situation with CM Punk and Roman Reigns. CM Punk then goes and challenges Cody, so we don't have to get that Roman Cody 3 at Mania, and you can build to Roman and Braun.
I got to be honest with you. I didn't like it in 94. I don't like it in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, if you want co-winners, like, come on, man. You're just taking a very easy way out. Because there's the chamber. You can always do something with the chamber if you always
right.
Do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're gonna see CM Punk in Saudi Arabia for the Rumble.
Okay.
Remember how much he doesn't like really going there? And
right.
He went there really to face John Cena.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying he won't be there. I just can see a situation where he's the champion going in, and the matches don't have a world title match on the card.
Right.
And if it is, it could very well be Cody Rhodes. And I could very well see that's where you either go Cody and Drew for the complete brush off for that, or you have Cody and maybe an Aleister Black or somebody completely different.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if we see developments on Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker starting January 5th.
Right. Now, I know that, and again, foreshadowing here, because for a lot of people, because of where it is, Sami Zayn is sort of the odds-on favorite to win the Rumble. Dom is actually my pick to win the Royal Rumble this year. So that would be very, very intriguing. Do you have Dom win the Royal Rumble to then maybe drop the Intercontinental to a Finn Balor or a JD to then break away from the Judgment Day and go and challenge Cody Rhodes? Or does he step up and try and win a third title by challenging CM Punk, who stated he wants to face Dom?
I'm going to assume by 2026 in that first quarter, he's probably no longer your AAA champion.
Yeah.
Whenever they do a big triple mania or something like that, I 100% see him versus Ray, with Ray winning the title.
Okay.
And I really would not put it past anybody that we will see Ray and Dom one last time with more of a finale to it. And I think that's where you probably have some larger at stake, whether it's a mask, whether it's a career, whether it's hair, something.
Right.
I'd rather
right
see
now,
Dom win the King of the Ring than a Royal Rumble.
Right now, we just had both Solo and Gunther down on the mat after trading some very hard-hitting blows here.
Gunther really showing the power with that slam and hitting the Uso splash on Solo.
Maybe it's the Walter Waterfall.
Could very well be.
or the Walter fall.
I like it.
I mean, can't spell Walter without water.
True. Oh, Gunther trying to manipulate that thumb to take away the Samoan spike from Solo.
For a second, I thought Solo had.
So did I.
Let's say Gunther gets eliminated in this match. I mean, we already know the path for Solo if Solo were to get eliminated. What path do we see Gunther going on if he got eliminated in this match?
It would all depend on how.
Mm-hmm.
Does he get eliminated by pinfall? Does he get eliminated by countout? Does Tonga kind of get involved in that aspect? Which, if you're Solo Sikoa and you don't use your assets to get past Gunther, what are we really doing?
Right?
But
I think, well, the clear path for Gunther could be, again, and we've talked about the match already, the Royal Rumble for him.
he is, to me, I think Gunther is more of a favorite to win a Rumble now than Sami Zayn, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
I think the luster for Sami Zayn, in my eyes, was, I don't want to say shot, but very much diminished.
Right.
He went for SmackDown and won and then lost the United States title.
Yeah, I was going to say losing the U.S. title as quickly as he did, despite the U.S. Open Challenge and defending it as often as he did, I think that took it away.
But could we have said the same thing for JEY USO last year after he lost the Intercontinental title for holding it for 3 weeks, though? Because he kind of did get pushed to the background a little bit after that.
He did.
Yeah, but he was still always featured in a lot. And he was kind of, you can tell he was always very well protected.
Yes, but, and I'm going to say this because so is Sami Zayn in that scenario.
Against JEY USO.
So is Sami Zayn in that type of a scenario. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like it was wonderful to have that Survivor Series elimination match and the nostalgia of it. But it was for me, it was an underwhelming match. All for it to come down to one-on-one for Solo to win. I'm going to suggest this, and I know that, Parrish, you're not really for this, but I would suggest, do we move Gunther to SmackDown if he loses this match and put him in that U.S. Open Challenge?
I wouldn't have him go the U.S. route. I would just have him win the Rumble and go after Cody's title.
Okay.
Why not Gunther be the guy who takes the title off Cody Rhodes?
Okay.
Because the last time Cody and Gunther really, truly had that one-on-one. I mean, yeah, we've seen them at Crown Jewel, right?
Yeah.
But it all started when they were 1 and 2 at the Rumble in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
And we just have not seen Gunther get the win in that scenario. So
Solo just tore the top turnbuckle off there.
He did.
why is he hiding his thumb?
Talatonga about to get.
It was, yeah, Talatonga was ejected. And Gunther takes the win.
Yes.
That was the best way.
It really felt like with Gunther using the thumb against Solo that he was taking lessons from Pete Dunne.
Yes.
I just love the whole understanding the scenario, and instead of using the exposed buckle, he just went low.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the ref catching Tala, holding him, and then Gunther going low, both on the outside and in the ring, to one to Tala, one to Solo.
I mean, just like a mathematical equation. What you do to one side, you got to do to the other.
Yeah. Now we got Gunther and LA Knight taking place on SmackDown, where you will catch our live reactions this Thursday night, 8 p.m. for the SmackDown security detail.
Friday night?
Yeah, Friday night.
Oh, and now we have LA Knight back out in the ring.
And this is going to be the first time LA Knight and Gunther go one-on-one. But it is not the first time each man has faced one another.
No. But I will ask this, does that low blow, does that play a part now in Solo potentially costing Gunther that match?
No. We're not going to see Solo at all in this match.
Okay.
The question I think you got to ask is, do we see that low blow come into play against LA Knight? Or does LA Knight surprise everyone and go that route against Gunther?
Right.
Well, the War Raiders are getting a tag title match next week.
They are. I like it.
Now, if only somebody said on a show on the weekend that WWE was going to focus on some tag team wrestling.
You know, maybe if somebody would have said it on their show at 7 p.m. tonight as well.
Yeah, well, I said it on Sunday, so I beat you. So.
And speaking of shows, let's take another commercial break.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday we go TNA when we brace for Impact at 7:55 p.m. Eastern. Friday we secure all details as we answer the call for the SmackDown security detail at 8 p.m. Eastern. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Sundays be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. Eastern, followed by the Boar's Nest at 8 p.m. Eastern. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day.
And ladies and gentlemen, once again, that site, if you just click the QR code, is turnbucklestudios.org. Meet the team, Chris Parrish, Chris Best, Bubba Duke, myself, and Carl Carafel. Watch our latest weekly episodic shows. Get our socials. Hit the join button to send us your credentials. Tell us how you can help us and how we can help you. And of course, hit the shop button to go to carlcarafel.redbubble.com and support your favorite shows here at the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program.
If you're able to see it, we do have Grayson Waller, the New Day, talking Byron Saxton. And it's really just Grayson Waller spitting his gums. Now, I have to ask the question. If all the inklings, the rumors, the assumptions are true, and say that masked man was Austin Theory, and Austin Theory goes from teaming with Grayson Waller in a heel capacity to being in the Vision in a heel capacity, how does that affect the next time you see Austin Theory and Grayson Waller? How do you perceive that moving forward now that both men are not together, yet they're not opposing each other per se in a revenge way like you would have first assumed?
Right. Well, this was something I actually discussed earlier tonight, and I think that WWE needs to do a little bit more with Grayson Waller. I was actually hoping that Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed were going to come out and interfere in the tag team championship match to say, no, we want the titles. And then you could have had Theory come out from behind and attack Grayson. Because this New Day heel run for me has really fallen flat. And I think that you could have done that and then you get that.
I honestly, I would trade New Day to SmackDown and bring a team from SmackDown over yesterday. But what we did see is we actually saw the announcement of the finals for the Last Times Now tournament. It's not Friday on SmackDown. It is next week on Monday.
Mm.
with the World Tag Team Title War Raiders versus Dragon Lee and AJ Styles as well.
Byron Saxton said in there that it is Friday.
Just
Yeah.
a graphic, though. A graphic literally said Monday.
Oh.
It also says the winner of the last time is now tournament on there.
.6. Ooh, could we see a Judgment Day versus Vision collision at some point?
I like the way you rhymed there. But yeah, that'd be an interesting feud to see.
Because we did hear Logan Paul just say the Vision are the most dominant group on Raw. Judgment Day vowed earlier to take control of Monday Night Raw once again.
But at the same time, given the current situation, Logan Paul's not far off the mark there.
No. And Logan Paul said the IC title belongs to the Vision.
Where I was going to go before you guys talk. We know in past interviews, Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio always want to team up. We always thought at one point Dominic Mysterio will leave the Judgment Day. Is it possible that the Masked Man wasn't Austin Theory? It wasn't anybody that we're thinking. What if it was Dominic Mysterio?
Interesting. A little bit, I think a little bit too tall to be Dom, but you never know because Black is slimming. So.
Hey, man, he could just be putting the titles on and makes them bigger. He is the greatest luchador of all time.
He is. He is the king of the luchadores.
Yeah. He, let's just say, like, he has more women in his back pocket than the entire War Games match did on Saturday, right? So I think what we can say is he has a heart so big, it makes him look bigger in black gear. Anybody think we're going to see Lash Legend and Nia Jax ruin this match in any way?
Oh, yeah.
We've gone there. I've suggested Bayley and Lyra, the Kabuki Warriors. I think we are going to get this breakdown into absolute chaos. And I mean, ironically, tonight, conspicuous by their absences, CM Punk and Becky Lynch, we haven't seen or heard from either of them tonight.
To be fair, they did just do War Games on Saturday, so you kind of don't want to have everybody who is involved in both War Games come and just suddenly show up on Monday night.
Well, no, but I mean, vignettes were both featured with CM Punk and Becky Lynch.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's the second time we've seen a big head sign in the crowd.
Yep.
Oh, awesome. Weird, but it was awesome.
Yeah, the other
I
one, the
just
other
love
big head.
that people have the creativity to do that again now.
Yeah. The other big head sign we saw in the crowd was EO too. So
Yep.
It's probably the same people.
that's my guess.
As EO starts off with Alexa Bliss.
And someone we don't normally see. I know Rio's sporting it during War Games, but Alexa Bliss is now sporting one on her left elbow, but they are wearing elbow protection.
Yes.
You see EO Sky with the tape over her left shoulder as well.
Yeah, and I firmly believe that those are more or less there to showcase just how devastating the War Games match can be.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe, unless they had a really interesting Sunday night. But yeah, no. Obviously, it was definitely from War Games. I don't think anybody who was competing in War Games was doing much on Sundays.
Yeah.
Right.
Other than watching our good shows on Sundays, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, as the Boar's Nest went a little bit extra as we had a Bubba Duke Unboxes session last night as well.
And we had a run in by yours truly, courtesy of Bubba telling me to come in.
Yep.
So with this tag match being the main event, do we still think we're going to get any answers regarding Survivor Series and with that men's War Games match?
No, I kind of want to see this play out for the next couple of weeks. Like, I kind of want Adam Pearce to I want to see investigation videos. Like, I want to see social media be lit up with Adam Pearce interrogating all these possible scenarios.
That's an interesting way to do a QR code.
Yeah. No, I do think we will. I think we are going to hear from somebody, whether it is Punk, whether it's Roman, but I doubt Roman.
Yeah, I can't. I did think we were going to get a CM Punk appearance at some point, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do get something on that end. And again, it is CM Punk who got attacked by this mystery person.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't anybody else. We saw the super kick, we saw the stomp, and that was it. And it was all done to CM Punk.
But that's where I'm led to believe now that if Braun Breaker is successful against Punk, it'll be because of this masked man on the January 5th Raw.
But at that same point, we might see somebody, again, like a Roman Reigns, be right there to prevent anything. Because we did see, unlike the year before, an actual fist bump. And
we saw Roman
each other for what they were doing.
Yeah, we saw Roman offer his hand and pick Punk up instead of Cody.
Yeah.
And that's why I had to ask. We also heard Roman say to Cody, this is the last time ever that we team. And I asked this to Best earlier. Does this have to play into who targeted Jacob Fatu on SmackDown?
I'm still hopeful that when the Damian Priest Aleister Black thing is done, I do hope it's Aleister Black who did it.
Okay.
When you think about the Black Mass kick and what that could do, it could knock out the teeth.
Yeah.
It could shatter things. And there's some news that came out today that the dental surgery was not actually near the severity as what was assumed. And be surprised that Jacob Fatu could be returning within the next month.
Okay.
So that's something to look forward to. And you have to think, like, if everything's going to ramp up in January, I would assume that's exactly when we're going to get some answers.
Yeah, because as I've said year in, year out, once January rolls around, it's almost an all hands on deck type situation because we're going to be getting ready for that road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And also, too, like when they started doing the day one show, and then obviously last year with Netflix and the January 6th thing, that's really now something that has even taken that even further.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like there is no wasting time anymore. And you know that used to happen.
Okay.
As Rhea Ripley and Charlotte are exchanging hard forearms and punches.
So I'm going to ask you guys the big question. Which trilogy at WrestleMania do you want to see if you had to pick one? Do you want to see Roman Cody 3 or do you want to see Charlotte Rhea 3?
I think I'd be more invested in a Charlotte Rhea 3, to be honest with you, because I wouldn't mind a Cody and Roman 3, but just not 3 years in a row. Or sorry, I forgot last year John Cena was Cody Rhodes, but yeah.
No, you're right and incorrect. It was this year's.
Yeah.
It just seems like last year's, but yes, you are correct in that John Cena was the latest Cody Rhodes.
No, I am 100% with Best on this one, Charlotte Rhea 3, because they have spaced it out. It wasn't year 1, year 2, year 3. You had the 1 year, then you waited 2 more years. Now we've waited 2 to 3 more years again. I'm good with Charlotte Rhea 3 because of the way it's been spaced out.
And to be fair, the Rock Austin Mania trilogy took place every 2 years with 15, 17, and 19. So
I think
those were also during the Attitude Era, and there was far more investment into the storylines at that point.
Yes and no. I would say that there's plenty of investment now. There's just so much content that it just gets overlooked a lot more now. Like back then, Raw was during the WrestleMania 15 times. I think it was only like an hour to an hour and a half long. Whereas now it's 2.5 hours almost.
Yeah.
And then SmackDown, I think, started with the 1 hour, then went 2 hours, and now it's going back to 3 hours in January.
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with either one of those trilogies, I would want it to be a complete blow off. Like, you're not going to get it again, and give me the Iron Man, Iron Woman match.
I'm going to say, for the sake of it being something that you could actually do something meaningful with Cody, I want to see Cody Roman. For the sole point is I want to see Cody turn heel in that moment. And then Cody not only wins that trilogy, but he won it in such a fashion that, yes, you can go back to it down the road, like years down the road if you really wanted to. But it also allows that story to really develop into something else. With Charlotte and Rhea, I think it all depends on the storyline of how does it fit Rhea? Because we all know that I think it looks like Charlotte would need that match more than Rhea would. And because of that, Charlotte has to be the babyface.
Yeah, in that instance, I wouldn't mind Charlotte being the babyface, because wasn't it the previous 2 times that they met where Charlotte was the heel? Because I know Charlotte was the heel at 36, but I can't remember. It was 39, the second match, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I can't remember who the heel, what the heel babyface dynamic was like then. I'm going to assume Rhea was the heel actually in that match, because I think I think she was still in Judgment Day at that point.
There's just an undeniable chemistry between Charlotte and Rhea.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was up to me, I would just make the women's tag team title match the most star-studded tag team match we have.
Right.
I would go back to that 4-corner elimination style. I would do the 2 teams we see in the ring right now. I would have the Kabuki Warriors, and I would put Raquel and Roxanne in there. With obviously Nia and Lash being the team odd out, but
This match has been absolutely fantastic. And we haven't.
Charlotte,
I don't want to see any interference now. I don't think we need it.
well, Charlotte just used Rhea as a weapon on Io there.
see, I do want to see interference And it's only
Well,
because
we are going to get interference.
We are.
I want to see the tag titles just get some amazing exposure. Like, this is amazing.
And this is what I called. I said that it was going to be the Kabuki Warriors making that interference.
Yep. But I'm betting based off of her comments earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Bayley and Lyra coming out here too.
But at the same token, I wouldn't be surprised to see Raquel and Roxanne.
No, or Nia and Lash.
Yeah. Like, it just goes to show now how deep that division is. And we were saying, what, just a few months ago, how lacking the women's tag team division was?
And I remember countering that by saying, like, there is a build that's happening.
And we've got Bayley and Lyra storming the ring.
And there's
Liv
Liv
Morgan.
With Raquel and Roxanne.
Yes.
And let's put it out there. The acceptance of Liv wanting... Ooh. There.
Wow.
There it is. I was right there on
Wow.
to say it.
Love it. Love it.
I was just about to say the acceptance of Roxanne with Raquel from Liv. And now we saw it in a physical form as Roxanne went to hand the title to Liv, and Liv gave it back.
You know what I wouldn't be too opposed to seeing? If the Judgment Day were to split, if those three women went off and formed their own faction afterwards.
Okay.
I'm going to say this. I like the fact that we have 3 women, 3 men in a group.
Mm-hmm.
And you're seeing the power with the women. It's different. I don't think it's been done in WWE before.
Right.
It totally makes the Judgment Day completely different than it's ever been. And it just gives it a dimension that's even more dangerous because they're Liv for whatever reason is the glue. The Judgment Day needs to be a dominant faction.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've got to ask, if the Judgment Day is to win the tag team titles, as we just saw that acceptance, do they defend those women's tag titles under the Freebird rule?
No, I think what we saw was a flat out Liv has put Roxanne in that place. She is going to go after Stephanie Vacquier.
Yeah, because we saw her interacting with Stephanie in the locker room there and basically scoffing at her being the champion, which is, again, something I don't think you really want to do against Stephanie Vacquier, but that's besides the point.
Right.
She's Liv effing Morgan, man.
Yeah.
Stephanie thought winning the Crown Jewel Championship was cool. Who did it first?
Liv Morgan.
Exactly.
But you know who's going to give out their socials first? You, Mr. Parrish.
Good.
Let everybody know how you thought about the show.
We all know I don't come second. Yeah, if you want to find me, follow me on my link tree at Chris Parrish. Why? Because I'm asking nicely, please. But yeah, if you want my honest thoughts about Raw, what I saw, I love the fact that we're getting a completely different perspective. What we're doing is we're seeing what Survivor Series did, and we're getting a completely new perspective of Raw. With Liv Morgan coming back, we know the Judgment Day are in the driver's seat. But does that fit Paul Heyman's vision? Who knows? We have two heel groups now running Ferraris. It's just a matter of time before they hit the same light and look at each other and go, okay, it's on. We are there. And I'm loving it. And what I cannot begin to say is I love the fact that tag team wrestling was a focal point. Whether it was the tag team title matches here, whether it's the number one contendership that we saw get completely obliterated, but then it got completely just intriguing with everyone coming out. It just makes a chaotic mess fun to watch. So that's what I enjoyed about Monday Night Raw. If you want to see me next, Chris Parrish Podcast, live on Sundays, 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time. But what's next? NXT Deadline Watch Party Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and all my socials. Let's have some fun. Let's have a party.
And over to you, Andy.
You're muted, dude.
Well, I'm not watching the bottom of my screen. So anyways, there were the two big focal points for me tonight were Gunther and Solo. And then, of course, that women's number one contenders match. And again, Parrish touched on it, the focus on the tag team division. Next week, we're getting AJ Styles, Dragon Lee versus the War Raiders, a deserving team according to them. So I am all for it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm loving this. If you're looking for me on my link tree, ladies and gentlemen, linktr.ee/OMD show visually tomorrow night with Chris Best, Carl Carafel, and a special guest on Turnbuckle Talk at 8:05 Eastern. Over to you, Mr. Best.
Right, and yeah, and for me, the show was pretty entertaining. I like where we're going, especially when it comes to the tag team wrestling. I'm finally happy that we're getting some focus on the men's tag titles on Raw, especially with AJ and Dragon Lee kind of doing an open challenge, but not really. They're just coming to Adam Pearce each week and picking who they want to defend the titles against. As you said, next week we're getting the War Raiders. Next week we are getting an appearance from whomever wins the tournament. And then ending off by showing how deep the women's tag team roster is starting to get and just how amazing it looks. It leads me to wonder, do we get a possible TLC match or a ladder match or some kind of a multi-women tag team match? Maybe not at the Rumble, but on the January 5th Raw for those titles. We'll have to wait and see. But if you guys want to find me at my link tree, it is linktr.ee/Chris_best83. Yes, you can catch me tomorrow night at 8:05 p.m. Eastern for Turnbuckle Talk. But this Saturday, again, guys, programming note, Saturday Night Gaming will be an afternoon program in lieu of NXT Deadline. OMD, what are those famous words we like to go out on?
Ladies and gentlemen, please always remember the world is better with you in it. From all of us here at Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, to those of you out there wherever you are, good night, good luck, we out.